Today I'll show you how to make this redwood planter box out of fence boards and 4x4s. It uses strong lap joints on the legs and takes advantage of the directional strength of fence boards to hold the weight. A rebate cut into the leg helps the boards sit flush and doubles as a design element. There are plans available on my website in the description. First, I cut off the end of the 4x4 to make it square, and then measured and cut 4 equal pieces. Then I measured the same distance away from the ends and marked a line at 60 degrees on all the beams. I placed one of the pieces against the line and traced the other side of it to mark the thickness of the board. I used a square to mark that line down the side and a marking gauge to strike a line parallel with the side. And on the mating pieces, I used the same setting on the marking gauge, but referenced the opposite side of the board. Then I set the height of the table saw blade and used a miter gauge at 30 degrees to remove some of the waste. My miter gauge is a little wobbly, so I cut the shoulders by hand to get an accurate angle. I made a knife wall with a chisel and then cut on that line with a kataba. A lot of this chisel work can be avoided if you use a dado stack on the table saw and have a good miter gauge or a sled. I chamfered the sharp corners of the joint with a chisel to make them assemble more easily. It was too tight on one side, so I hand planed it a bit to creep up on a perfect fit. I moved to the table saw and cut a large rabbet into the legs in 2 passes. Once the rabbets were cut, I cut off the feet at 30 degrees. And I also cut off a portion of the top. I took the 2 remaining fence boards and cut them for the ends of the planter. Then I assembled the legs and attached the fence boards with screws. I also flipped it over and reinforced the joint with 2 screws. Then I cut the corners off the top of the legs. I cut the ends off the long fence boards to give them a consistent length, and rested them on the legs, then screwed them in place. For the top boards, I set them in place, marked where to cut them, and ripped them on the table saw with the blade tilted at 30 degrees. Then screwed them in place. I resawed the remainder of the 4x4s to make the triangular support frame. Then I cut them to the correct angles and screwed the frame together. This interior structure is very important because it prevents the boards from bowing outward. I drilled several holes in the bottom for drainage. The gap between the 2 boards also gives it some good drainage. Then I added soil and started planting. This planter box is really nice and extremely sturdy. I also have plans and a video for a different planter box which is a little bit easier to make and is a rectangle instead of triangular. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to plant that like button and subscribe. Bye.